Hey guys, I just got back from watching Black Panther and that was so much fun. I can't even tell you. I was trying to figure out how I was going to do this review without spoiling it. So this is going to be shorter than my normal reviews because, like I said, I'm not trying to spoil this movie. It's so good that I want everybody to see it and I don't want anyone to be dissuaded from watching my review because of spoilers. I'm not giving any spoilers, so I'm going right to the specifics of what made this movie really good. The story was very well written. It lets you know the different characters' motivations, especially the villains. You knew what their motivations were, and on the part of one villain you could actually see his point of view to the point where you I did feel sorry for him. I understood what he was talking about and I felt sorry for him. And there was a lot of moments that made me very emotional. I can't talk about them specifically because this is spoiler free, but I'm just saying I had feels and feelings and emotions and all this going on while watching an action-packed superhero sci-fi adventure fantasy film. One of the best I've seen in a long time. And just to give you a little understanding of the type of science fiction or the type of fantasy movies that I like, my previous favorite Marvel movies were Ant-Man and Doctor Strange, so that gives you an idea of what I like. As a child, my very favorite comic book character was the Incredible Hulk. I guess I like things that have to do with science and technology, even though Doctor Strange is technically magic, but as Thor says, what you call magic, we call science. And I like the very last Spider-Man movie. The other Spider-Man movies I didn't care for, but this last one, Homecoming, I really liked it. And the only DC movie I can think that I like was Wonder Woman. That was pretty good. But that being said, man, I gotta take a moment to just breathe because Black Panther was that good. When I mean good, I mean there are no weak links. The acting was good, the action was good, special effects were good, the characters' motivations were good. Even the villain, you could identify with what he was going through and really feel sorry for him in a lot of ways. And I think that always makes a good villain, when you can make the audience see why the villain is doing what they're doing. That was amazing. I'm almost speechless because it's so hard to do a spoiler-free review and tell you why this movie made me feel so emotional. I'll just sum it up with saying that, number one, as a black child growing up being into horror, sci-fi, and action, and for me, horror comics, I wasn't so much into like the mainstream comics, but I was more into horror comics. Seeing so many black people on screen at the same time, and they're all beautiful and they're all excellent actors and they're doing fantastical things, it just makes you feel something. And then it's layered because another layer of that is being a woman and seeing women on screen doing things that are amazing. And then the third layer of that is being black and being a woman and seeing black women on screen doing things that are just amazing. This must be what white guys feel like every time they watch Captain America or Spider-Man or Iron Man or Ant-Man or most of the X-Men or Incredible Hulk. Okay, I'll let that part go, but it's just wow. And the feeling in the theater. Everybody had a good time watching this. One thing that got to me though was at the end of the movie, credits start to roll and some people start to get up and walk out. And I'm like, this is Marvel. We're about 8, 9, 10 movies deep into this. You know there's going to be at least a mid-credit scene or a post-credit scene. And in this case, we got a mid-credit scene and a post-credit scene. Why are you even getting up and leave the theater just because the movie's over? You should know by now there's going to be a mid-credit scene or a post-credit scene, both of which were really good scenes. The post-credit scene, my sister completely predicted it, but I can't talk about it because this is a spoiler-free review. Anything else? Oh, my favorite character is Shuri, who was T'Challa's younger sister. She was really funny. She had great moments. She's a genius. She's heavy into tech. She plays a huge part in helping T'Challa. I just love her, and I mean, I swear, if I was a 10-year-old little girl, I would have those little fists, and I'd be on the playground on Monday morning with my Shuri fists, my Shuri laser shooting fists. Another thing that kind of got me choked up was seeing black people in love, seeing black people kiss. You don't realize how infrequently you see that until you go to a movie and you see it on a big screen. You're like, oh wow, that should be something that we see more frequently. I'm gonna end this video and make it super short because I'm probably babbling, and I'll probably come back and do a spoiler review once my mind and my heart and everything is settled down from all the excitement, and I'll probably maybe post a little video of the goings on in the theater. Oh, and also my hair actually looks like kind of like SZA's hair when I left, but you can see what happened afterwards. You know, go outside into Florida, 84-degree heat, and you get this. I still kind of like it though. I don't care. Hey, big hair don't care. I forgot to add how this movie took some things that were considered derogatory when it comes to insult hurling towards African Americans and turned them into something very beautiful in a way. Like, for example, I remember when I was in middle school, I have a South African name, and sometimes when people would hear my African name, they would say derogatory remarks, or some people would say things like African spear chucker and stuff like that. To see the Dura Milaje with their super high-tech spears, I feel like now there's a little girl that's in middle school now or in elementary school and somebody tries to hurl that as an insult to her, in her mind, she's gonna imagine more those beautiful, strong women with those spears than anyone can say to her about being a spear chucker. Second thing, the imagery of simians, whether it was like a, well, I would say a gorilla. I would say they had like some carvings of gorillas, and there's a character that got his strength from a white gorilla. And you know, it's a common insult to hurl at black people to call us monkeys or say something about us as gorilla-like or simian. And to see this creature be presented as more regal, as the source of strength, kind of disarms in a way those insult. That's the best way I can put it. I felt like that was a really good thing that was done in the movie. But like I always say, just because I love something doesn't mean you won't hate it, and just because I hate something doesn't mean you won't love it. Let me know if you saw Black Panther, if you're going to see Black Panther. As a matter of fact, if you're not going to see Black Panther, we can't be friends anymore. So let me know what your thoughts are of Black Panther without spoiling it, you know, for at least this weekend. After this post has been up for like 4 days, then, you know, feel free to spoil in the comments. But the first 4-day weekend, don't spoil anything. See you later.